Hello and welcome back, this is Insti, and I'm continuing playing Hercule Poirot, the London case. Last episode, we found Irene murdered. And and also he was selling forgeries of the paintings. So now we have murder in our hands and the death of the Penitent Magdalene. And obviously we are going to start to investigate what we can find out about those both. And, of course, cigarette case, we still need to know that. That's the most important thing of this case, honestly. So, talk to suspects. So, let's talk to suspects then. Are there anyone here? Any suspects around? Don't see anyone here. Maybe upstairs. Unless you're not going there. Yep, it would seem that our dear Hercule Poirot won't go upstairs. Hopefully there's nothing important. No one in this room either, so let's go check the restoration room. Because apparently we need to go there. Well, I don't know, but I'll check. Oh, we went straight away to the restoration room, sorry. Evelyn.
Mademoiselle, do you have a moment to spare?
Of course, Detective. I'm hoping you have some good news for me.
About that. The thing just went a little bit more complicated. Distressing news. Prepare yourself for some distressing news.
Goodness. You've found the painting, haven't you?
Not as such, no.
A painting was recovered. A forgery, but it was damaged by the fire.
What on earth are you talking about? Forgery? Fire?
It ran rampant through Mademoiselle Courtsmith's apartment.
She's dead.
How did you guess that?
She would never be so. But with all of those flammable paints and... No!
Mademoiselle Warbeck appears quite distraught at the news. Perhaps I should have considered the nature in which it was delivered.
No, little too late there, mate. How close were you to Mademoiselle Courtsmith?
I respected her as an artist and a friend.
I do not wish to push Mademoiselle Warbeck too far while in such a state. But as a friend, I must know if she was aware of Mademoiselle Courtsmith's plan.
I just realized he was moving his lips while he was saying this, and I think the idea, of course, he's thinking it, but he's apparently thinking it loud. Fortunately, neither Hastings nor Evelyn heard me thinking.
Perhaps, as a friend, she let slip of her plans.
Her plan for what? Stealing the painting? Making a forgery? Do you really think I'd let her do that?
It depends on the money.
She must have had help from someone she trusted.
If she did, it wasn't me she confided in.
Did you see Mademoiselle Courtsmith following the gala?
I've been here trying to calm down the trustees.
You did not leave the museum?
I was here until the early hours. After the meeting, I wrote a letter to my father. I wanted his advice on what to do. It's just all so... Excuse me, gentlemen. I must go and make a phone call to an artist. I shan't be long.
Okay.
Merci, mademoiselle. That is all for now.
Honestly, yeah, at this point, there are two people who were seen with Irene. Probably Johan and then the other guy, and obviously everything points towards that they are maybe the later guy is a murderer. But again, this is a Poirot story, so at the moment I would say everyone is a suspect, even her. But I digress. Anything we need from here? What is that? Restoration table. No. Oh, I guess it's a... I don't think it's a paint. Is it a milk or cream? I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Now, what's next? Well, still talk to suspects. Oh, maybe something new here. Who murdered? Mademoiselle Warburg was working late at the time of the murder, according to her, of course, because without alibi, it's her word. And nothing else. But again, we will see. So let's fast travel and see where we can go now. Poirot, you stop acting weird, mate. Yeah, maybe we go here. Yes. Are we leaving? Okay. Bishop Mountjoy's church, Mortimer's office, Monsieur Aylesworth's office at the Royal Society of Art, Theatre Street, newspaper office, the London Illustrated News office, and where Bishop Mountjoy holds his service. I'll start with Mortimer's office. If he's there, of course.
Monsieur Aylesworth.
Ah, a detective that actually seems to be doing something to find my painting. What can I do for you?
Recovering. How are you recovering after your ordeal?
Quite well, thank you.
The infirmary discharged you already?
With a clean bill of health. I didn't want to wait around using up valuable resources.
Well, that was quite easy.
An honorable gesture.
After leaving the hospital...
I was straight off to the House of Commons. I take it you haven't read today's newspaper?
I don't recall.
I'm afraid I have had more pressing matters.
It certainly makes for an interesting read.
Oh, really?
I was not aware reporters were permitted inside the house.
They aren't. I left and went to the London Illustrated News office. I gave my statement there.
Really?
I can't for the life of me remember the chap's name. Rather pleasant, though. Anyway, you're a busy man. I'd hate to take up too much of your time.
It does not take a great detective to pick up on Monsieur Aylesworth's ever so subtle hint.
Oh, that he wants us to be gone? Regarding the mother of the painting?
Is this about the insurance claim? It was merely a necessary precaution. I'm sure with you on the case, it won't be long before it's returned.
I do not doubt my abilities to return the painting, but I question why he felt it necessary to talk of sensitive details regarding the investigation to a national news outlet. It would not surprise me to learn of him using his loss for cynical gain.
I assume you saw the article in the paper?
Again, sir, no, I have not.
Oui, monsieur.
Oh.
A fantastic opportunity for you to express your political opinions.
Oh, the people must know what I stand for. I'm here for them.
So now we have seen the papers, okay? So...
I will not take up any more of your time.
Well, that didn't do that much. Honestly, let's go to Bishop Mountjoy's church. That should be interesting.
Bartholomew! Here, puss, 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 puss. Where are you? Bartholomew! Enough now! Out you come!
I'm fairly certain he's talking about cat.
I'm sorry, I just don't have time to talk now. I have to find Bartholomew.
Have you placed a missing persons report?
Really, detective? Bartholomew is the church cat. I think a missing persons report might be a little overboard.
I am sure with our assistance we shall find him in half the time. And then, perhaps you will have time to answer my questions.
Fine. All that matters now is that we find him.
Oh, great. When did you last see the feline in question?
His name is Bartholomew, and I'd appreciate it if you spoke of him as such.
Pardon. When did you last see Bartholomew?
Better. Well, you see, the poor creature took an interest in my easel. He leapt up, knocking over some of my supplies, and gave himself a fright. He bolted out of sight, and I've not seen him since.
Okay, so
Merci, Your Grace.
let's go and find the bloody cat. Okay, we got a new mine. I must say, this reminds me of my duties back in the rural Belgium as an officer, but it is important I find the missing cat, so that Bishop Mountjoy will answer my questions. The cat frightened itself when it knocked items off the easel. Interesting. So you did have paintings too. Let's go see a little bit what we can find. Right. Nothing out of ordinary. After all, this is a church. So the imaginary is correct. Can I turn around? Yes, even more. Indeed. So we have this easel here. So you like to paint too. Where did I see? Paint supplies. It would not be right to take this while Bishop Mountjoy is within eyeshot. Oh. So I was supposed to take something later. Charcoal. Again. Can't take it. Parishioner footprints and dust under easel. What would the Lord say about this mess? Cleanliness is next to godliness. One step closer to revealing truth. So I guess we need to find the cat. Then we need to take something out from here. Yeah, I noticed that paint there, but I'll check the altar candles. Burnt low. Little remains of the candle. It must have burnt for some time. Okay, so... Wait. Shard of glass. Oh, I thought that was a light. A small shard of glass yet to be swept away. Interesting. I don't think so. I don't think it's from the... from these stained glass windows, maybe? Probably not. Okay, and let's check the wax. Yeah, there's a red candle, and I think... Wait, don't get stuck. Can I interact with that candle? No. But I can interact with this. Extinguished. Well, that is obvious, yes. And it fell down. Noticeable dent on the candelabrum. Is that it? A logical thing shall always prevail. And obviously it was... Some candle wax has hardened on the floor. Okay. Anything in here? Wait. Church evidence. Noticeable dent, altar candle burnt low, parishioner footprints and dust under easel, wax. The cat frightened itself when it knocked items off the easel. Shard of glass near altar. Do I connect noticeable dent with the wax?
I should not be surprised by my own skills of deduction.
The candle was knocked over, spilling the wax and denting the wax pan. Candle near steps was knocked down over. So, is there anything in here? I don't see anything. Do I need to talk to to Horace about that candle?
Oh, I didn't think I could make it.
The broken glass, yes.
Yes, Thomas, one of my parishioners, would usually have sorted that for me. But he decided this weekend of all weekends was the best time to holiday to Margate.
Margate.
Where did you say the glass was broken?
The easel. I was painting, and Bartholomew was obviously in a boisterous mood and knocked over the water jar.
Okay.
Merci, Your Grace.
Right. So how did that help me at all? We have two new things. Candle near steps was knocked over. Horace swept up broken glass remains from the underneath easel. So do I connect this with this?
Another success. I never doubted myself.
I cannot imagine how the glass could have spread this far. Sean found a way from where the glass mashed. Right. What else? The cat frightened. Sean found a way from where the glass smashed. Horace, he had to sweep up the broken glass after the cat had knocked the jar off his easel. But if he did that, then there wouldn't be footprints and dust under the easel. Now would there?
Some would say a lucky guess. I would say a moment of genius.
Okay, how does that help us? I cannot fathom why he would lie about something so trivial. Horace lied about where the glass smashed. So do I connect this with Shard found a way? Let's see.
Logical thinking shall always prevail.
Okay, that worked. The evidence suggests that the glass was broken at the altar. The glass smashed at the altar. Do I connect the altar candles burned low? Or candle near steps was knocked over and glass smashed at the altar. I'll try that, because if the cat dropped the glass at the altar and then ran off and knocked over the candelabra, maybe.
Voila.
The cat may have run in the direction of the confessional. Okay. So, I guess I'm allowed to study confessionals now? Am I? Wait. No. What am I supposed to do now then? So the cat should be around confessional. Do I talk to the Horace once more?
Oh, I didn't think...
So no.
Merci, Your Grace.
Huh. What am I supposed to do now? Okay, I'm a little lost. So, talk to suspects. What's there new in here? Probably, yeah, being interviewed. Okay, but the cat may have ran in the direction of the confessional. Yes, but we cannot interact with those. So I don't know what you want me to do with that information. Do I need to talk to Hastings? Probably for the Hastings, yes. Oh, dustpan and a brush. Swept up debris in the dustpan. Looks to be a shard of glass. Bishop Moncho must have cleaned up following the cat incident. Oh, yes. Okay, Hastings, check the cat.
Monsieur Hastings, your assistance is required.
Of course. What do you need? What can I do for you?
I believe I know where Bartholomew the cat began running from. Okay. Where did the cat start? Where? Altar?
That would never have even occurred to me. I've got a lot to learn.
How do we know that the cat started at altar? Glass smashed at altar. Well, do I use the wax or Horace light? I'll try the Horace light.
I question whether the bishop's version of events is accurate. Perhaps he threw the glass jar at Bartholomew because he was on the altar.
Ah, I see.
I know that's how it looks, but I can't imagine someone being so cruel. What tells us where the cat ran to next?
The confessional? Oh, sorry. Candle?
Poirot, you are a genius.
That was one step too far. How do we know the cat ran to the candle after being at the altar? Because candle near steps was knocked over.
How can we know where the cat ran to next?
Now the confessional?
Poirot, you are a genius.
So... Okay, can I now do something with... now we can interact with the confessional. A hole big enough for a small creature to creep through. I wonder if there is a way to lure him out. Okay. If one had a lot to confess, they would be leaving with a cleansed soul but an aching behind. Thank you. The answer was staring me in the face. Also the cat. So, wrong button. Do I need to talk now, Horace, and tell him that the cat is inside the confessional?
I didn't...
Apparently no.
Merci.
And Hastings, do you have any ideas?
What do you need?
Discuss something with you?
What can I do for you?
Nothing.
Merci, Monsieur Hastings.
So... So what am I supposed to do now? We know the cat's in here. Return under the stairways to lure him out. So what do we need? There's nothing inside here, so I probably want to leave. At least I don't see anything. There are only a few places to go. Do I want to go to the newspaper? And check if there's something I could use? Then perhaps museum, but what would there be? I don't know. Let's check the newspapers first.
Gentlemen, what can I do for you?
Try them.
I was hoping to speak with Mademoiselle Farquhar.
I'm afraid she already has her hands full with the story. Unless you've come with a bigger one than what she's working on.
Wait a minute. Okay. We've come with the terrible news of the murder of a high-profile socialite.
Perhaps another time, gentlemen. We really are very busy.
Oh, you're not interested about that story, okay. Suspicious story of arson?
Perhaps another time, gentlemen. We really are very busy.
Perplexing story of art forgeries?
Perhaps another time, gentlemen. We really are very busy.
So you're not interested about a possible forgery ring with arson and murder included? Connected with a stolen art piece?
I will not take up any more of your time.
Well, if that's how we do it then. Yeah, Mortimer's... I don't think we can get... I could go and check, let's see.
What can I do for you, detective?
Interview at the London Illustrated office?
Well, detective, this is a surprise.
Is it?
A surprise, monsieur?
I wasn't expecting to be on the receiving end of an interrogation. I had nothing to do with the fire or her death.
How do you know about this?
You are aware of Mademoiselle Cortsmith's demise?
There isn't much in this city I don't know about. And for your little notepad, or wherever you're storing the facts, that report... Farquhar, she was in the office and can confirm I was there.
It appears that Monsieur Aylesworth is more preoccupied with proving his innocence than showing any compassion for Mademoiselle Cortsmith herself.
Moving your lips and talking your thoughts out loud while the guy is standing here. Okay.
I will not take up any more of your time.
So there, well, we could go to the Theatre Street and see if there's anything there. That could be a place to get something to lure the cat out of the confessional. Maybe. Maybe. Let's grab one picture and use that. No, that doesn't work. Okay, there's nothing in here. We can't enter there. Betty's dressing room. Can we enter there? Maybe she has something. Waistbin. Anything in there? I can see a torn-up letter that looks interesting, but I can't go rifling around in there while Madame Allen is still present. Okay. Don't mind me, I was just checking your waistbin. There's still room in it. there's the newspaper. Can I check that now? Top of the flop. With a name like Betty Allen at the top of the bill, one would expect a certain level of professional stage experience to steer even the dullest of shows. But on this occasion, it was left treading water and floundering in a sea of amateur dramatics. The final curtain fall... I was saying call. The final curtain fall, along with its star from the other side of the pond, was greeted by a standing ovation, accepted with tears of gratitude and bouquet-filled arm and a wave that suggested she had given the performance of her life. And if her performance was that of an actress found in the streets of the East End, she deserved every applause. Mediocre, a term usually used derogatively of someone's performance, but in Betty Allen's case, it is the best one can muster. Without imaginably back-breaking support of the sublime accompanying orchestra, the entire show would have fallen under the weight of Mrs. Allen's increasing ego and misplaced high notes. Yeah, that doesn't sound too good. A newspaper with a headline, MP crosses floor. Looks like an interview with our very own Monsieur Ellsworth. Halley's Comet continues to amaze scientists and the world. I'm glad I was able to see it in my lifetime. Oh. Halley slays the king. Too many Halley's Comet came and went, like a bright trail of glittering across the sky, a moment of beauty above the layer of grey cloud that hangs over the nation's capital. To others, it brought down a beloved and powerful monarch. The news of the fire. Local butcher to those of Lambeth, beloved father and husband. Mr. A. Thomason, 1910. Second Lieutenant David Golding, Royal London Fusiliers, 1887-1910, fell to pertussis surrounded by his children, Henry and Eliza, and wife, Eleanor. Okay. So, yeah, that was obituaries, but no news about Court Smith. Theft. The misplaced Magdalene. The newly christened Royal Edward Gallery was set to return to the height of its glory days, with its wavering reputation for bland and outdated exhibits being a regular occurrence. The arrival of collection from Dubois Estate in Boulogne, Belgium, including the highly anticipated Penitent Magdalene, recently purchased by the Honourable Mortimer Ellsworth of the Conservative Party, was to be a revival that was so badly needed. Instead, while I stood patiently waiting for its grand reveal, an expectant gasp of it was the shock. An expected gasp of it was the shock of an empty frame that stole the limelight. The Penitent Magdalene survived the Brabant Revolution, the Belgian Revolution, remaining steadfast on the walls of Chateau de Dubois for well over 150 years. And yet, in only a matter of weeks on English shores and days within our illustrious city, she was kidnapped. Detective Inspector Hardwick of Scotland Yard's swift arrival showed the urgency of not only the Metropolitan Police Force, but also the museum's curator, Miss Evelyn Lakshmi Warbeck's, to find and return the precise piece back to its new, if not short-lived, home. And Monsieur Damien was right. He's making quite a stir on the political scene. January's election result of a hung parliament was not the way the decade was expected to start, and it paved the way for some that reside in the House of Lords to question exactly where they stood on the important policies, and for some, more importantly, how that would affect their support. One such MP that has spent the last months considering his position and further career is the Right Honourable Mortimer Ellsworth, hailing from Surrey, where his loyal constituency sees his moral code and ethics as a continuation of his father's sterling work. While it looked as though his popularity would only continue to grow through the Conservative and Liberal Unionists, his most recent speech in the House, where fellow party members watched on as he questioned the integrity of his party before making the bold and often considered career suicide move of crossing the floor. Speaking with him following the House sitting, he told me, I couldn't sit back any longer and allow those in desperate need in our towns and cities to be forgotten. We have the great privilege of serving the children and citizens, and we just aren't doing enough. And I had to make a change. Okay, I think that is everything from the paper. Still broken mirror. Well, hello, Betty. Can we talk to you?
Bonjour, madame. Do you have a moment to... Has something happened?
You bet something's happened! That slime bag! How dare he say my performance was mediocre!
I'm sure he didn't mean.
That's it! I give up. I'm done with this acting. With this city.
Take a deep breath. One man's opinion, and a wrong one at that, is not powerful enough to topple a career like yours.
You're right. Let him think what he wants. I'm sorry. I'm an actress. It's my prerogative to be a little overdramatic.
Whatever you say. I'm just staring the bird at the background.
Very impressive, Monsieur Hastings. A position in negotiations would suit you well.
Is there something I can help you both with?
Where were you following the gala last night?
You do know what I do, don't you? I was on stage, performing in front of a packed house.
I did not mean to.
Zach, he was there. You two seemed pretty friendly. He'll tell you. So will that Russian lady from the gala. She was with him.
Monsieur Demir and Mademoiselle Babagne. Together. Très bien.
And your husband?
Oh, he's already seen it. I told him he didn't have to come.
A supportive husband indeed.
Yeah, real supportive.
And where is your husband now?
Your guess is as good as mine.
It is most important that I speak with him.
Then you've got a missing painting and a missing husband on your hands because I haven't seen him.
I'm afraid I'm the bearer of some unfortunate news, to say it mildly.
Look, I don't think I can take much more today.
Mademoiselle Court Smythe was found murdered last night.
Okay.
Okay.
I thought perhaps the news would be a little more jarring.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I don't really want to hear about anyone dying, but me and her... Well, there's no love lost.
Madame Allen's nonchalant response has certainly caught me off guard.
True.
You have been most helpful.
So there is something in the trash bin which we want at some point, but we cannot take it now. And I don't see anything I could use to lure the cat out of the bag, so to speak. So we need to leave. Wait. Do we have something new in here? We have a few things. Watching Betty's performance. On stage. Watching Betty's performance. Okay. Where do I leave? Do I need to talk to Hastings?
What do you need?
I require your
That
assistance.
sounds rather ominous.
Oh, are we taking that thing from the bin while Hastings makes a little
I would not ask you
scene?
to do something I would not consider doing myself. Only on this occasion it is I that must execute the other part of the plan.
What do you need me to do?
Madame Hélène, you must hold her attention while I take the opportunity to look around.
I certainly can. I'll appeal to her love of attention. Mrs. Allen, that photograph there, is that really you on a live film set?
A torn and discarded apology letter from one Johan Kristiansen, and with a stroke of luck, a part of an address. Perhaps we are one step closer to identifying his hiding place. Okay, so we couldn't leave because we needed to have that. Fine. So let's leave. So I guess we are going back to museum and see if there's something we can use to lure the cat. I don't know what there would be. I don't know. Fortunately, there are not many places to go, but I'm fairly certain there was nothing on the in the church. So, museum main hall? Okay. Yeah, she was obviously not interested in what he had to say. Yeah. Probably anything. We can't still go there. And not upstairs. And to be honest, I don't really see anything in here. So, restoration room? Do we take some paint thinner? That would be a clue. I don't know. I'm starting to run out of ideas. This is the last place. And the weird place, exactly, but maybe there's something here. Wait. I guess we know what we need to have to take the cat from the confessional. Maybe this will be enough to entice Bartholomew out. Okay. I'm glad that there aren't too many places to go, because honestly, that never occurred to me. Because it wasn't interactable when we were here first. Maybe if it had been, I probably would have realized earlier that it's an item we need. But such are the adventure games. At times you have to go back and forth and see what you can do. Again, fortunately these areas are not that huge, so it doesn't take too much time. Now. No, don't get stuck. Use. Perhaps the jug of cream may be some of use.
Voila.
Well, that worked.
Your Grace, now that Bartholomew has been found, would you...
As my way of thanks, I'll answer your questions.
Okay. So much effort to find a cat that after learning the circumstances why it ran and hid, I imagine it did not want to be found by its owner. At least now Bishop Mountjoy has no excuse to ignore my questions. Nice. So, you have anything to say?
Very well. Get on with it.
Why am I not surprised? Okay. What were your movements yesterday evening?
I hope that comes from an inquisitive nature rather than a place of accusation. I was at a museum trustees meeting, trying to finally make a decision on that girl.
You mean Mademoiselle Warbeck?
Who else? She's running that museum into the ground.
And following the meeting?
I returned to the church to prepare for Compline prayers, although I don't think I was alone.
Really?
You don't think?
I got the feeling that someone had followed me from the museum. I never saw them, but I know what I felt.
If the bishop is correct, the murderer may have been stalking their potential next victim. What was your relationship to Mademoiselle Court Smith?
None. I knew her merely by reputation, and a questionable one at that. Do you want to tell me what all these questions are about?
Mademoiselle Court Smythe was murdered last night.
If you plan on being the bearer of such news, perhaps you should think of going about it with a little more civility. How did the young girl die?
There was a fire in her apartment, although it wasn't the flames that took her life, but poison.
Arson and poisoning. Oh, what is this world coming to?
Indeed, I question that on myself too.
Bishop Mountjoy claims he barely knew Mademoiselle Court Smythe, but still showed a level of empathy I was not expecting. Perhaps I judged his blunt facade too quickly.
Perhaps, perhaps not. We will see. The Penitent Magdalene has been found.
Found it? Really? Oh, heavens be! The Lord has shown his will once more.
I can only assume his delayed excitement came from being off guard. Unfortunately, I must turn his elation into disappointment.
Really?
If your grace would allow me to finish. A forgery of it was found in Mademoiselle Court Smythe's apartment, but it was destroyed in the fire.
She was the thief all along? Well, that just... A forgery? You mean she made a copy of it?
It appears that way.
I will rightly light a candle for her soul this evening. But that will not give her absolution from what she faces kneeling before our Lord.
Now that the Bishop Mountjoy has left, we can have more thorough investigation of the church. Well, I guess we only need to go to the easel, because there was something Poirot wanted to get from there, if I remember correctly. Discoveries, we got, what was it? A Tyrian purple, most regal of colors, a sign of royalty and wealth. And charcoal. I'm sure the good bishop will have no grievance with me borrowing this. So where do we need that? Logical thinking shall always prevail. Do I need to check the cat? No. Burnt low. So now I have, I'm sure that could, yeah. And I'm checking this once more, that there is no, yeah, it's the same thing. Do I need to go back to the museum or something else? Because because I'm fairly certain that the museum is only one where we can do something, maybe? Unless we have the Johans area. We have the newspaper, Mortimer, Theatre Street. I don't know. I'll check the museum again. Maybe there's something there. Maybe. If not, then I'll have to go through the places again. I'll start with the museum because it's the biggest one, after all. I'm still not certain what I'm supposed to find here, but maybe we find that out. Restoration room. Here we are. So anything well, I don't want to do anything for Hastings. I could check the restoration table if there's something there. Nothing. Maybe there's something on the table.
Oh.
Oh, we have something new in here, okay. Maybe.
Oh.
Notepad. There appear to be faint indentations on the paper. Ah, now I know why we need the charcoal. Even for my impeccable vision, they are still too faint to comprehend. Well, that's not a problem, because we just used the charcoal.
Huh.
And again, the compositions of paintings and pigments. Hot on the culprit's heel. Okay. So let's use the charcoal. There appears to be faint indentation. Yes, we already yep. Stick of charcoal I found may be of some use. Dearest father, the board continues to question my every decision. They see me not as an equal or even an adequate curator. I cannot be sure how much longer I can take the constant barrage of abuse. You have always taught me to stand and face those that try and derail one from their path, but it is a task I find myself struggling with alone. Send mother my love. I miss you both dearly. Perhaps this year you will join me in London for Christmas. All my love, your Evie X.
It looks like she was telling the truth after all.
About composing the letter, oui. But we cannot confirm where it was penned.
Or what time, of course.
What's all this other stuff? I don't think it's from the letter to her father.
It seems we have stumbled across the names and addresses for the guests of the gala, although they are not all legible. We have gathered all the information we can from the guests at the gala. All except
Betty's husband, Mr. Kristiansen.
Indeed.
Oui. We are now in possession of his address, where he is no doubt hiding like a frightened young boy avoiding his headmaster's ruler.
This information is redundant unless we can find a map to help navigate us there. Okay, so we need a map. Maybe. No. We don't need the cream anymore. So what is our mission now? Even more talk to suspects. So... do we need to go back to Betty's place? Maybe she's gone. Maybe there's something more. Ow, bloody hell. Don't get stuck on Hastings. Yeah, let's go back to Betty's place and see if there's something we can find. Maybe. Back to the dressing room. Okay, you are here, yes. Can I talk to you?
You're just full of questions, aren't you?
I am indeed. That's okay. That
You
didn't
have
help.
been most helpful.
By the way, the safe is gone. So no. Hastings, could you help me?
What do you need?
Discuss something?
What can I do for you?
Bishop Mountjoy gave a convincing alibi. What supports Bishop Mountjoy's murder alibi? Horace lied where the class candles burnt low. I don't know, maybe candle near the step. No, so it's we are still
What can I do for you?
Okay.
Merci, Monsieur Hastings.
So we don't have convincing alibi at the moment. So 0, 0, and 0. Huh. Is there anything I can interact with? Oh, well, I guess we check the other places then. Because I'm a little lost, but yeah. I might go first to the newspaper and see what I can do there, if something. So newspaper first.
Gentlemen, what can I do for you?
I was hoping to speak with Mademoiselle Farquhar.
I'm afraid she already has her hands full with the story. Unless you've come with a bigger one than what she's working on.
Perhaps we should take our information off the glamorous Madame Allen wishing to quit show business elsewhere.
Let's not be so hasty. That could be just what we need.
Gentlemen, what can I do for you?
Okay, that was the ticket.
This is your office. It's very impressive.
Mademoiselle, would you have time to answer some questions?
I don't really have time right now. Perhaps we can schedule...
I assure you I shall remain focused and my questions relevant.
Fine. Make it fast.
There was a fire at Mademoiselle Courtsmith's loft apartment.
Is she all right?
Not really.
I'm afraid not.
Heavens, how awful. Did she have any close relatives?
I do not believe so. And her parents have both passed also. She was the last remaining Court Smythe.
A question I did not expect. Although at least she is showing some form of compassion for Mademoiselle Smythe's family, or lack thereof.
And what was your relationship with the deceased?
I only met her recently in a professional capacity. What are they going to do with her exhibit?
I cannot say, but they may not be as forthcoming with her work now.
I'm sorry, Detective. I don't understand.
Mademoiselle Court Smythe was behind the painting's disappearance, and a forgery was discovered in her apartment.
So she stole the original and made a forgery? What heavens for?
That we are still yet to learn.
Did you see Mademoiselle Courtsmith following the gala?
Am I a suspect?
Well, yes.
We are just trying to gather all the information. Isn't that right, Poirot?
Oui, that is correct.
I'm sorry. It's just a lot to take in at once. I was working late into the evening yesterday. I had to get my article on the gala written. And the photographs, they had to be developed. There was probably someone still around in the office if you wanted to check. I'm sure you want to have every I dotted and T crossed.
Monsieur Ellsworth recalls seeing you in the office.
Really? I must have been so busy not to notice him. At least you can be sure of where I was.
Was there anyone else present in the office?
If Mr. Aylesworth was there, Nathaniel, my editor, must have been.
It strikes me as rather strange that Mademoiselle does not recall seeing such an important figure in the office. But not everyone can be as observant as I. I shall speak with the editor, as he will be able to confirm the presence of both in the office.
Merci, mademoiselle. That is all for now.
Okay, anything I can... Map of London. Well, that's what we need now. A map of London with details and names of a street within the immediate area.
Voila.
And just like
And
that...
just like that, the address of Monsieur Kristiansen's apartment.
Ah, finally.
Remind me why we've lied our way into a man's apartment while he's not here?
Monsieur Kristiansen was accused of harassing a young lady who has now been murdered, and he has not been seen since, even by his wife. Does that not strike you as peculiar?
Do you really think he could be capable of murder?
I believe everyone is capable, under the right circumstances. And right now, I believe Monsieur Kristiansen is in that position. While we have no suspect to question, let us use our time wisely and search for clues. Leave no stone unturned.
The suspect. I'll at least search the Kristiansen room house before we end this episode. So let's see what we can find. Dining table. Somebody's been drinking and smoking. Ettington cigarettes. I have seen the brand of cigarettes somewhere before. Okay. Johan has been drinking heavily. Drinking such a considerable amount of alcohol is good for no one, whatever the circumstances. Okay, fast travel, music room. But before we go there, drawer. This drawer contains a Norwegian dictionary and a set of keys labeled spare study keys. Okay. Is that it? I think that's it then. Anything in here? Well, no. Is that a study door? Can I open it? Study room door is locked. Is there anything I can use? A set of keys to Monsieur Kristiansen's study. I could perhaps use these whilst he's not home. Well, let's use them then. Now we may investigate Monsieur Kristiansen's study. Well, that's good. Desk. And a ledger. And a safe. Well, that's something we probably want to open. An expensive sale, but of what? Full of musical notes, although a page has been clearly torn out. One step closer. Anything else? No, I don't think so. That's the fast travel, so let's go to the music room door. The music room. Do I don't have keys. Well, that's not good. What am I missing now? Anything to do 0, 0, and 0. Wait. Johan's apartment, yes, we are inspecting, but so I'm missing dining table. And nothing there. I can't open them. Can I talk to Hastings, perhaps?
Monsieur Hastings, your assistance is required.
Really?
Of course. What do you need? What can I do for you?
I believe we know who was smoking with Mademoiselle Courtsmith on the night of her death. Wait a minute. Well, I guess it's Johan and his cigarettes. Ettington branded cigarettes.
Monsieur Kristiansen was at the scene of the crime smoking with Mademoiselle Courtsmith before her death. Could he be the holder of the original Penitent Magdalene painting? He may very well have hidden it here.
Okay, so what can we do now? Did that help us at all? There's nothing I can interact with. Except dining table. And of course this. Nope. I don't have anything in inventory. I'll check the dining table once more. No, that won't help us. Do I need to... I'll go check back to the Betty and see if we can do something there. Because I really don't know what else to do. I don't have the keys. So maybe I find something from Betty's place? Aha. Can I just go past you guys?
Oh, Poirot. Good to see you.
Indeed, good.
The feeling is mutual, Monsieur Demire.
You and your formalities. Let's talk over here.
Is everything all right?
Miss Farquhar is interviewing Betty. I thought we should talk privately over here.
Okay.
I heard about Irene. Tragic news. And what's this I hear about poison?
Who told you that?
It doesn't take long for news like that to spread in this city.
I would appreciate some discretion between friends. But oui, Mademoiselle was poisoned.
Anything I can help with?
Once you left the museum yesterday...
I won't take offense, as I know you're just doing your job.
Indeed.
I attended the evening performance of Betty's show. Anastasia and I had a grand old time.
She accompanied you as your date?
Ooh, steady on, Poirot.
She was at a loose end after the gala. Don't worry, I'm not here to tread on any toes.
What can you tell me about Monsieur Kristiansen?
I mean, he can hold a conversation, of sorts.
You do not think particularly highly of him.
I've never had a problem with him before. Look, I ran into him last night in a bar after the show, and by the looks of him, it wasn't his first drink of the night. He was trying to sell me a lucrative business opportunity, a way we could both make some quick money.
Did you take him up on his offer?
God, no. When someone offers you something that sounds too good to be true, it usually is.
Wise man. After the events at the Vanden Bosch house.
That was some weekend. You should get him to tell you about it sometime.
Bragging is a sign of overconfidence and grandiose behavior.
You know, at first I found those kind of replies annoying. But now, charming almost.
I shall accept that as both a compliment and a sign of your maturity.
If it wasn't for the detective here, I would probably still be wallowing in my own anger and self-pity.
You have lived a life many of us have only heard about in stories. A life that we all hope no one will have to live again.
I second that.
Your family must be proud of the man you have become, as am I.
Okay.
I will not take up any more of your time.
So, can I go here? Oh. Oh. Huh. So, I can't talk to anyone, I can't go there. So, what am I missing now? Hastings, help me.
What do you need? What can I do for you?
Nothing.
I will not take up any...
Huh. Well, let's go back to the newspaper office and see if we can get something from there.
Gentlemen, you're back.
Allow me to introduce myself properly. I am Detective Hercule Poirot of the Kingdom of Belgium's police force.
You should have led with that before. Nathaniel Dryden, editor of the London Illustrated News.
My apologies. I was not aware of your position on our initial meeting.
That's quite all right. You were still more polite than most of the people that come through my door. What can I do for you?
You interviewed Monsieur Aylesworth yesterday, correct?
I did, but that was supposed to be an exclusive. How did you know?
It is a detective's job to know such things.
Doesn't really explain how, but okay. He said he had something to tell me that was going to blow me away. I couldn't say no.
Was Mademoiselle Farquhar present at the time?
Indeed she was. Although she was working on her own story, so I left her to it.
At no point did she leave the office?
She's a very hard worker and won't leave until the story is just how she wants it. Needless to say, she outstayed me.
Oh, now she has an alibi, that's for sure.
She had photographs to develop too, so was in the dark room for some time. I'm sorry, gentlemen, but I have another appointment.
Has Mademoiselle Farquhar had any visitors to the office?
This place is usually full of all sorts that think they have a story for us, or want to know more about something we've published. I was meaning to mention that to Florence, actually.
Mention what, monsieur?
A young foreign girl came in asking about a piece that was on show at the museum. Originated in Eastern Europe somewhere, and Florence had written an article on it.
Did she say why she was so interested?
She said she was researching its journey from its first home with an affluent family. I forget the name. I couldn't tell her much more, besides that it was going to be moved from the museum shortly. No doubt into another exhibition somewhere.
Could this inquisitive young woman have been Mademoiselle Babagna? But why so curious about that particular piece of jewelry?
Interesting point.
Merci. You have been most accommodating.
Okay, so dark room is over there. We probably want to go there. Because... wait. Ah! Can we go into dark room? No. Newspaper office window. Let's interact with that then. I'm thankful my occupation does not keep me trapped in an office on days like today. Desk drawer. There is only one way to discover its contents. Okay. Oh. Addressed from Mademoiselle Smith, but in exchange for what? Check from Irene. The London and Provincial Bank Limited pays to Miss Florence Farquhar to the sum of £50 sterling, Miss Irene Court Smith. Interesting. Why? She was obviously unaware that Mademoiselle Farquhar was present with her camera. Rather hard to see even when held against the light, so the camera film. So we leave from there. Ah, okay, so yeah, yes, we are using the film, camera film over onto the window. Workstation.
Sacre. What is the meaning of this? It is the missing painting, and this photograph is identical to one that had been burnt in the fire.
Interesting. Wait, there was something else to discover, I think.
Oh.
No, sorry. There is not. I have no idea what to do now. Although this could contain valuable evidence, its disappearance will be too obvious. I should return it to where it was found. Fine. Wait. I guess I just went somewhere. Let's see once again. Can we do something in here now? Group of guests. Madame Betty Allen.
I do not mean to interrupt.
Then perhaps you should wait until we have finished the interview.
Florence Farquhar.
Mademoiselle Farquhar, could I speak with you for a moment?
I'm in the middle of an interview.
I really must insist.
That was incredibly unprofessional, Detective.
If we are to discuss professionalism, perhaps we should talk about your work with Mademoiselle Smythe.
I think you've got me confused with...
Enough, mademoiselle. It is time for the truth.
I knew that Mademoiselle Smith did not act alone.
You don't think I was involved?
Please do not feign ignorance, mademoiselle. Where did mademoiselle receive her inspiration to make her forgeries? I remind you that I stand before you as a detective. It would be wise not to continue this charade any longer.
Poirot, maybe we should...
Monsieur Hastings, if Mademoiselle Farquhar requires someone to speak in her defense, she can contact a lawyer.
That won't be necessary. She asked me to photograph certain pieces of art, that's all. I didn't know what she was doing with them.
Why did she choose you?
I have no idea. I thought she was just trying to help my career, and I needed it.
Your career does not appear to need the help of a criminal.
She had such confidence. She knew all the right things to say.
And she got exactly what she wanted from you.
I was financially dependent on her. She paid for the lifestyle that I had found myself in, that she pushed me into.
Couldn't you have just said no to her?
And risk her exposing me for what I had done? She was the one holding all the cards. I had no way of proving it was all her plan. I had no other choice but to do what she said.
Merci, mademoiselle. That is all for now.
Okay. Betty?
I am sorry to have interrupted your interview earlier.
By the looks of it, what you were saying was much more exciting. Care to spill?
Perhaps we should stick to my questions to you.
Which I have none.
You have been most helpful.
Not really. Oh, now I'm allowed to go to Betty's dressing room. Well, let's do that then. Maybe there's something new in here. Jewelry box. Okay, that's new.
Oh.
Huh. So, combination. What could that be? Anything in here that could give us a clue? And then we have the safe. I have no idea how to open these. Hello, bird. Please tell me the combination. Oh, tight-lipped. I don't know. Maybe we need to go back to the Johann's apartment and see if there's something I can find now after we've done this. Because apparently some things do not come interactable before you do things, even if they are there already. So maybe I have activated something and we can find now something. Maybe. Hopefully. Any chains on the table?
Huh.
No. I'm guessing the music room is still closed. Yes. And Norwegian dictionary and spare study keys. Okay. What am I missing? Wait. Notepad. Musical notes, although the page has been clearly torn out. Yes, we know that. What am I missing? This. I need something to have notes or numbers or something. And okay, it's
Huh.
I'm fairly certain that we need to use these for something also, but the problem is wait. What? How did I... What is that?
Mm-hmm. Huh.
It obviously being cleaned, as I can now make out the inscription. A date, perhaps. 1412. Betty Allen. Johan Kristiansen. And expensive stone. A magnificent ring. Such a personal design shows how much he loved her. What could have gone so wrong? Madame Allen gave her wedding ring back to her husband after I'd returned it to her just yesterday, meaning she lied about having seen him last night. Pourquoi? There is more to discuss with Madame Allen. I'm thinking, could the 1412 be the code for the jewelry box? That's the only 4 numbers I can think of. So let's try that. Maybe. And then we talk to Betty Allen. But I'll at least try the 1412. There's nothing to lose and everything to gain. So here you are.
Oh.
1, 14. Okay, yes. A torn piece of paper. 4-1. This surely cannot be English. No, it's Norwegian. 4, 2. So it's 4231.
If it is, it's been written by someone that hasn't quite grasped the English language yet. Fire to Irene. Some kind of instruction to commit arson.
Okay. Yeah, but no, it's 4231.
It seems too obvious, but that does not mean it is wrong.
My beloved, as much as it pains to be so far from you, your words are enough at least to give me some comfort before you will be mine in my arms again. I spoke with my father. He couldn't be happier of us, and we have his blessing. I know you wanted to be here when we told him that the good news, but I just couldn't wait. I have everything crossed for you tonight, not that you need it. Break a leg, mince cut, Clem, J. I would not have expected to see such heartfelt words from Monsieur Kristiansen, even to his wife. Okay, I don't think we can use that on the save. And yeah, those are quite similar to Swedish numbers, so that helps. So let's go back. I'll probably check the book, but I'm fairly certain it's the 4231. There is also a safe in the Johann's apartment, but we haven't been able to interact with it. So let's see the... Can I see the note? And once we check this... Fire. Fear 2. Yeah, I guess it should be 3. But there's no T mark, or it's getting off and in. Yeah, it's 4231. So can we interact with the safe now? Because there's also a safe. I know there's the safe in the Betty's room, but there was letters in it. Wait, what am I using here? Oh, it fits. But where? Its origin cannot be from English language, but where? I know, but can I interact with the safe now? So that would be 4231. Voila. So what did we find on the safe? Betty and Johann with a dog. A canine makes a worthy addition to any family. I agree, yes. And love letter from Betty to Johann. It's clear that the letter was written some time ago. While they are courting, Madame Allen states what she values most about him. My dearest Johann, New York just isn't the same without you. In a city full of millions, there is only one that I want by my side. Last night's show was a great hit. I think I have the record for longest applaud in the whole show. I miss looking out into that crowd of unknown faces and seeing you staring back. Just having you close gives me a sense of calm, and we both know sometimes I need that. Did you speak with my father's colleague, Will Cairns? He will be able to find us the perfect apartment in London. I know we don't have the date set in stone yet, or a ring, but I just can't wait to spend the rest of my life with the kindest and most honest man. Write me back as soon as you get this. Betty. XXX. A love letter from another woman. The handwriting does not match what I have seen Madame Allen. This must have come from another woman. J. That day will soon come when we can be together, and everything you speak of will no longer just be a dream. Until then, we must continue to keep our relationship hidden. The flowers that arrived at the studio for me were beautiful, but signs of affection such as those will surely raise suspicions. And signing your initials, it is mistakes like those that will ruin everything. I will write again when the time is right. Until then, my love. XX, is it Irene? It certainly points toward that. Anything else? Strange note. Nope. Can I talk to you? Do I need to go and talk to Betty?
What do you need?
Yes, the mystery lover was Mademoiselle Court Smith.
The argument with Irene at the gala, and then with his wife after.
Madame Hélène had uncovered their relationship. But even with this revelation, what still remains a mystery is Monsieur Kristiansen's involvement with the theft.
Anything else?
What do you need?
Something?
What can I do?
Nothing?
I will not take up any more.
Okay, so we still can't go to the music room, but maybe we can go and talk to Betty now. Maybe she has something to say? Maybe? I'll try to do a little bit more before I end this episode. Okay, she's... Oh, there you are, Betty.
You're just full of questions, aren't you?
Ah, I understand you and your husband own the dog.
Own? You don't just own an animal detective. He's part of our family.
Fair enough.
Pardon. And his name?
Enoch. And I ask you the question, what's he got to do with anything? And how do you know about him?
Are we using... Is that the code for the safe in Betty's dressing room? Because it was with letters.
Purely curiosity, madame. Enoch. A splendid name for a most handsome dog.
Well, I might
And
as...
it was your husband that mentioned him at the gala.
I might as well...
It means faithful in Norwegian. It was Johann's idea.
Interesting. But let's try that.
You have been most helpful.
So maybe we can now open that safe. Okay.
Oh.
Enoch. It contains jewelry and money as well as Monsieur Kristiansen's spare keys. Nope. So, am I as loose key? Another key presumably to unlock the door in a apartment. I wonder which... Oh, are we finally getting into the music room? Well, that has been a ordeal. There's got to be something interesting in there then. At least I hope. I have no idea what's going on, but I'm still thinking that Johann is not the killer, most likely. The weird thing is Betty has actually a motive to kill Irene. I don't know anymore. So let's use the key and open the music room.
Huh.
Now it's open. What can we do with this then? Well, we have a piano and newspaper. And book. There must be something that fits into this hole. What hole? I don't understand now. So there's a book or hole. So what now? We don't need that anymore. I don't think so. There's the Betty's engagement ring, dining table. What do I need now? Anything here?
Oh.
No, nothing in here. Honestly, now I'm starting to again be a little bit. There's a book I can interact with, but it needs something. There must be something that fits in this into this hole, but nothing else. I can't interact with these. Not with these. Well, I can interact with the fast travel, obviously. Okay. Where do I go now? Am I missing something? Do I need to go back to the Betty's place and see if there's something in there that we need to open that whatever that is? Basically, it's either museum or theater. Let's go back to Betty's place and see if there's something there. If not, then we go back to the museum. I might as well try to speak with Betty. Betty?
You're just full of questions.
Okay, nothing.
You have been most...
Okay, do I have anything in here? So we need some... No, we are not interacting with the door. Nothing in there. Next up will be the museum, I would say. We can't use that anymore. Okay, I think there's nothing for here. Nothing here for us, I mean. So I guess we go to the museum then and try to find if there's something we can use. Whatever that is. Because I think that's the only place we can go except Johan's apartment. Yes. Oh. Maybe she can help.
Bonjour, mademoiselle. Is everything all right? Do not worry. It will not be long before the murderer is brought to justice.
It's not that. I just cannot understand how such historically relevant pieces like this remain in British hands. It doesn't belong here.
I'm sorry, mademoiselle. I do not have the answer. I'm sure they are well maintained, if that is any consolation.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sure this is the last thing you wish to be talking about.
Your movements following the gala.
Well, after it was all cut short rather abruptly, we made our way to Mrs. Allen's play.
We, mademoiselle?
Mr. Demir and myself. We were all at a loose end and he was kind enough to invite me.
I wonder if you could explain this photograph for me.
Oh, I wasn't aware Mr. Hastings was to be the focus of Florence's article.
On the contrary, it is only one of many she took at the gala. What interests me is the brooch.
Would you believe I found it? Amazing how careless some people can be.
And you are intending on returning it?
Of course. It just slipped my mind with all the commotion of the painting.
Mademoiselle Gottsmite no longer requires it. I shall hold on to it for now.
Okay, thank you. And your sudden disappearance from the museum.
Yes, and it was something that I wanted to speak with you about, actually. At the gala, I spoke with the bishop and he mentioned a painting he had seen last year. But it was one that I'd read had been stolen. He couldn't have seen it when he said, unless... Well, it didn't sit well with me. So when Evelyn escorted you both to the restoration room and he left, I followed him.
You should not have taken matters into your own hands.
I stayed well back, and the bishop is hardly the most threatening. I followed him into his church, but he was gone. I looked everywhere, but he was nowhere to be seen. It was like he just evaporated.
He is a man of God, not a magician.
I don't know what to say. He wasn't there. I decided to wait outside, but when he eventually left, he had a wrapped package under his arm.
Quite
You have
curious.
been most helpful, mademoiselle. I shall not take up any more of your time.
Well, at least we got something new, and now we have Irene's brooch. The brooch belonged to Mademoiselle Court Smith, but why would it be here? Okay, so we still need to get to the music room thingy. Oh, we can't go there. Okay, there's nothing there then.
Huh.
No reason to go there, fine. So, let's go to the West Wing and... Oh, now we can't go to the West Wing. Now we can't go to the West Wing, so we can't go anywhere in here. Well, I'm starting to run out of ideas. Well, we need to leave then. Could we use the brooch? Aha. The brooch pin would perhaps fit the hole in the book's cover. The missing musical piece from Monsieur Kristiansen's notebook. I wonder... Okay. Let's play the piano then. I have always enjoyed the rich, rounded tones that fine pianists can produce. I fear my musical talent will be far from euphonious. Aha. Come on. Come on, where's the hotspot, please? I almost saw it. Honestly, it can't be this hard. Come on. There you are. It is subtle, but the pigment does not match, so this should be a forgery. Pigment is brighter than it should be.
The pigment of this paint is brighter than it should be.
Yes.
Meaning?
We have found our second forgery.
Oh. Huh.
Poirot, the door.
Well,
What are you doing in?
Monsieur Kristiansen, welcome home.
This doesn't look good, does it?
no.
We have much to discuss.
So Mr. Kristiansen had an opportunity and a motive, but he continues to deny killing her.
And still 2 forgeries remain.
I knew it.
Pardon, monsieur?
I knew that's why she stayed so friendly with her. Irene always said she was besotted, that she could get her to do whatever she wanted.
Perhaps you should elaborate on the identity of her?
The curator. Evelyn, what's her name? She could spot a forgery at 20 yards. What better person to show you the ropes so you can make your own?
If the board of trustees at the museum got wind of this, Miss Warbeck's career would be finished.
And in her own words, if anyone was to jeopardize her career,
she wouldn't be held responsible for her actions.
It seems Monsieur Kristiansen may not be the only person tied to Mademoiselle Smythe who has a secret to hide.
Well, pretty much everyone has a secret to hide. Chapter Secrets. So, Chapter 7.
Madame Hélène has confirmed the surprise appearance of her husband during the intermission of her show. And as expected, she... Monsieur Hastings, there is something troubling you?
If I may speak freely.
You may.
You do not have to ask my permission.
This is all very overwhelming. We seem to be taking one step forward and 2 steps back.
I can understand your confusion, but you cannot allow it to consume you and your emotions to take charge.
Easier said than done. I just...
Oui, monsieur?
Must you be so hard on her?
I presume you refer to Mademoiselle Farquhar.
You talk about emotions not taking charge.
She is a suspect in a murder investigation, not a guest at afternoon tea. If Mademoiselle Farquhar is more important than discovering the truth and finding justice...
I would have thought you would know better of me by now. I'm sorry, but I don't agree with how you spoke to her.
When it is your investigation, you will have the authority to conduct your questioning how you see fit. Until then, I will continue in a manner that has and continues to bring criminals to justice.
And I'll just keep my opinions to myself.
Let us focus on the case. What do we know about Mademoiselle Warbeck's relationship with the deceased?
Mr. Kristiansen suggested she had romantic feelings towards Irene, but she was just another of her pawns.
She cleaned the master key to hide Mademoiselle Smythe's actions, but perhaps she then became worried about her own involvement.
You think she could have killed her to stop the truth coming out to the trustees?
Which would in turn ruin her career. It is certainly a possibility.
Indeed, it's a possibility, but let's see if it's actually what happened. So what is our next objectives? What do we have here? Evelyn motive. Rage Mademoiselle Smith endangered Mademoiselle Warbeck's career. Yes, that is a possibility. So, on next episode, we are starting to unravel and try to dig deeper with Evelyn and others to see what we can find. Even that guy over there, Horace. I'm watching you. You lied to me. You weren't in the church for the whole night. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you next time. Until then, goodbye.